I'm Adam.
And I'm Easter.
And this is Where There's a
Williams,
there's a way.
Hey, Easter, do you have a favorite grandmother?
That's not a very fair question. We probably share the same one. As you know, your grandmother adopted me when I was a baby.
How does that work exactly?
I don't know what you mean. She raised me and took care of me for as long as I can remember.
No, what I mean was that she was like a mother to you, but you always called her grandma as well.
That's all semantics. She was a lovely person that took care of everyone she could. I mean, she struggled to get by, but she would still pick things up at the food pantry for others all the time. And everyone called her grandma, even adults that she didn't raise or were actually related to. She was a lovely woman.
You get no argument with me there. In today's book, a girl spends the day with her grandma, or Abuela. Let's get started.
Abuela by Arthur Dorros, illustrated by Elisa Kleven. Abuela takes me on the bus. We go all around the city. Abuela's my grandma. She's my mother's mother. Abuela means grandma in Spanish. Abuela speaks mostly Spanish because that's what people spoke where she grew up, before she came to this country. Abuela and I are always going places. Today we're going to the park.
El parque es lindo,
says Abuela. I know what she means. I think the park is beautiful too.
Tantos pájaros,
Abuela says, as a flock of birds surrounds us. So many birds. They're picking up the bread we brought. What if they picked me up and carried me high above the park? What if I could fly? Abuela would wonder where I was, swooping like a bird. I'd call to her. Then she'd see me flying. Rosalba the bird.
Rosalba, el pájaro.
She'd say, Ven, Abuela. Come, Abuela. I'd say,
Sí, quiero volar.
Abuela would reply as she leaped into the sky with her skirt flapping in the wind.
Whoa, that took an unexpected turn.
What do you mean?
I didn't expect the two of them to turn into Mary Poppins and start flying all over the place.
A good book will keep you guessing. You never know what will happen.
I guess that's true. I was just expecting the girl and her grandma to spend the day running errands.
Who says they won't? But instead of riding the bus around, they'll fly with the birds that they feed in the park. Where do you think they'll go next?
Maybe to the grocery store or the market, and food will fly into their cart.
We'll see.
We would fly all over the city,
Mira,
Abuela would say, pointing, and I'd look as we soared over parks and streets, dogs and people. We'd wave at the people waiting for the bus.
Buenos dias.
We'd say. Buenos dias, good morning, they'd call to us. We'd fly over factories and trains and glide close to the sea.
Cerca del mar.
We'd say. We'd almost touch the tops of the waves. Abuela's skirt would be a sail. She could race with the sailboats. I bet she'd win. We'd fly to where the ships are docked and watch people unload fruits from the land where Abuela grew up. Mangoes, bananas, papayas. Those are all Spanish words. So are rodeo, patio, burro. Maybe we'd see a cousin of Abuela's hooking boxes of fruit to a crane. We saw our cousin Daniel once, unloading and loading the ships. Out past the boats in the harbor, we'd see the Statue of Liberty.
Me gusta.
Abuela would say. Abuela really likes her. I do too. We would circle around Liberty's head and wave to the people visiting her. That would remind Abuela of when she first came to this country.
Vamos al aeropuerto.
She'd say. She'd take me to the airport where the plane that first brought her landed.
Cuidado.
Abuela would tell me. We'd have to be careful as we went for a short ride. Then we could fly to Tio Pablo's and Tia Elisa's store. Pablo's my uncle, my Tio, and Elisa's my aunt, my Tia. They'd be surprised when we flew in, but they'd offer us a cool limonada. Flying is hot work.
Pero quiero volar más.
Abuela would say. She wants to fly more. I want to fly more too.
Hey, look at that. I was partly right. They did go to the market.
But things weren't flying into their cart.
Nope. And it seems as if they're both touring New York City and visiting family.
Did you ever do that with Grandma?
Sometimes.
You'd fly around New York City?
No, that we never did. But we would go around and visit family, not just biological family, because you have to remember that your grandma considered everyone her family. Strangers were just extended family members that she hadn't met yet.
Yeah, I forgot she used to say that. Where do you think that these two will fly off to next?
Maybe they will leave the city and go to Abuela's hometown?
Maybe. That would be a far flight.
We could fly to las nubes, the clouds. One looks like a cat, un gato. One looks like a bear, un oso. One looks like a chair, una silla.
Descansemos un momento.
Abuela would say. She wants to rest a moment. We would rest in our chair, and Abuela would hold me in her arms, with the whole sky, our house, nuestra casa. We'd be as high as airplanes, balloons, and birds, and higher than the tall buildings downtown. But we'd fly there too, to look around. We could find the building where my father works. Hola, papa, I'd say as I waved, and Abuela would do a flip for fun as we passed by the windows.
Mira.
I hear Abuela say. Look, she's telling me. I do look, and we're back in the park. We're walking by the lake. Abuela probably wants to go for a boat ride.
Vamos a otra aventura.
She says. She wants us to go for another adventure. That's just one of the things I love about Abuela. She likes adventures. Abuela takes my hand.
Vamos.
She says, let's go.
So, maybe they didn't go to Abuela's hometown, but I didn't expect her to start doing flips in the sky.
Yeah, I didn't really expect them to come back to the park that they started at either.
But you know what I think is going to happen next?
What?
She says that she wants to go on another adventure.
Yes.
And they're getting on a boat.
Yes.
I think they're going to dive under the water and start swimming around and exploring underneath the pond.
That would be fun.
It seems like the two of them really have a lot of fun together.
It sure does. If you've enjoyed your time with us today, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. I'm Adam.
And I'm Easter.
And this is Where There's a Williams,
Where There's
a Way.
Williams, There's a Way.
Did you know the average American will be a grandparent for half their adult life? The average age of becoming a grandparent is 48, according to AARP's 2002 grandparent study. If 18 is considered to be the beginning of adulthood, the average person will live 30 years as an adult before becoming a grandparent. Since the average lifespan of an American is 78 years, the average person is also likely to be a grandparent for 30 years.